Welcome to the Pins and Friends podcast. We're all about the downtown Bristol experience. Bowling, events, tasty food, and unforgettable fun. Join Chip Zimmerman, owner of Pins and Friends, as he brings the energy and stories that light up our community. Let the good times roll.
Step back in time or step up your game. Pins and Friends offers a modern arcade with a vintage twist. Chip Zimmerman spills the beans on their collection of retro classics and cutting-edge favorites. Whether you're reliving the golden days or mastering something new, find out what makes their arcade a gamer's paradise. Welcome back, everyone. Skip Monty here, co-host / producer, back in the studio with Chip Zimmerman. Chip, how you doing, man?
Good. How you, Chip?
Doing just fine. Hope you're having a good day.
Having a great day.
Awesome. Well, Chip, let's just get right to it. I understand you've got a super cool arcade, so I'd like to delve into that and find out just how cool it is. And what about vintage games? I'm of the age that vintage means my type of game. So
That's right.
So tell us about the arcade.
Yeah, so when we first opened, we had some space there. We were looking at putting some vintage arcades, getting that 80s groove back for some of the folks our age, but also for the young ones to discover. We were able to partner with Flipside Retro Arcade, and the owner there had some classic games in storage that he brought out for us, and then we were able to get even a couple more games when they decided to close their location. So he brought some very vintage games, some even pinball machines from the late 70s. So these are almost like museum pieces. We've got about 9 pinball machines, vintage pinball machines. They all still use quarters. And when I say vintage, I guess the games are vintage. Some of the pinball machines are very modern. We have a Stranger Things themed one, a Star Wars themed one, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed one. And one of the fan favorites is the ACDC pinball machine. So we have some pretty classic pinball machines. A lot of people come in just for the pinball machines. So we have a lot of fun with that. We got 2 vintage cocktail table arcade games, Pac-Man and Galaga. A lot of folks our generation will remember having fun with those. And we did get what I will call a multi-arcade. So it's hard to get all those favorites into one building. So we got a multi-arcade that has all those classics like Zaxxon and Donkey Kong. So it's a cabinet arcade game that has all those classics as well. Those all use quarters, just like the old days. So it's fun to hear the change machine, the quarter machine go off every once in a while and hear those quarters drop. But it's been real fun working with Jackie Rhodes, who's one of the owners of Flipside, to try to get those games in and looking at actually adding more. So he does a good job for us, and we enjoy just watching him work on those old games and keeping them maintained and keeping that kind of gaming experience alive in this day and time. On the flip side, we have more the modern redemption games. It's more, that's the popular way of doing the gaming. You get you accrue tickets, and then you at the end of the session, you can cash those tickets in for a couple prizes. So we work at the company Venco there, and we have the carnival type games, Down the Clown, the basketball, a classic basketball game. We even have the Big Buck Hunter shooting game. So it's a modern game, but it's fun to watch people. It's got deer hunting, but it's also got like zombie hunting. So it's all kinds of shoot on that game. Then of course we have a little duck game, which is good because we're duckpin bowling. So there's a game that you'll always win, and that's a little claw machine. And you'll definitely get you a little duck as a souvenir for your visit there. The good thing about this is it's on one card, and even your tickets are on that card. There's not all these tickets being printed off, in the floor, and then you have to count them. The system keeps up with how many tickets you've won, and at the end of the night, you scan your card. It tells you how many tickets you have, and then you select the prizes from the Prizilla, which is this big vending touch screen. So yeah, even that kind of game experience has come a long way with technology. So when we first discussed that redemption games, I really didn't want to have to pay the labor for someone just to stand there and use a calculator to count the tickets and subtract the tickets, and everybody's in line waiting for that one kid to figure out if he wants a one now and later, or So this has really streamlined it, and one of the reasons I chose to put those redemption games in is because the technology has made it where it's easier for the owner of the business to worry about the core business and let the redemption games basically take care of themselves. So it's been a lot of fun making those decisions and installing them, and we see how much fun the kids have, even the adults. So of course we have the classic punching game, made famous by all the TikTok, YouTube videos of people missing and hitting their fellow gamers or whatever. So we do have one of those, and it is a lot of fun watching typically the 20s to 30-year-olds trying to get as high score as they can on those things. So it's always fun to see that as well. A lot of camaraderie and competition. So it's a lot of fun watching those type of games, and I think it has added another part of the Pins and Friends experience. Definitely, we're the only arcade in downtown Bristol, so I think it has made us a little bit of a destination for folks that are looking for just that kind of experience, where they can just kind of hang out, play some games.
Well, I got to tell you, I am super excited about the pinballs and Galaga. I was a addict of Galaga back in the late 80s.
That's right.
I had a good friend actually that for about 10 minutes had the world's highest record, I think, Guinness World Book of Records. He played for like 3 days straight and got the highest score, but it only lasted, like I said, back then it was only
back then everybody was going for those high scores.
Yeah. So you kind of answered this question, but if I break a high score, do I get a trophy or do I get a card full of tickets?
On the redemption games, you'll definitely get a card full of tickets. On the vintage machines, I will be happy to take your picture next to your high score to memorialize that forever in social media. And we will crown you the Pins and Friends Galaga champion if you so choose. There we go. Yeah.
So are there any special promotions where you can get a package of certain number of games per person with the party, or?
Typically with the party packages, we can go ahead and get those cards preloaded and ready. Of course, with just about anything, the more you put on your card, the more credits. You do get some bonus credits, for lack of a better term. So typically, the more you pay, the more you can play. It's not just a quarter per point, per ticket. At some point, you get a lot more credit for the amount of money you're putting in there, for sure.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a blast. I mean, just the arcade by itself sounds amazing. So I am looking forward to, may not be bringing a party with me the first time, but I'm at least bringing my wife.
That's right. So, and we actually had a guy come in and he had found us on pinball.com. So there is there's a whole pinball playing culture out there that are looking for those places that have those pinball machines, because it is the type of game that you don't really find a lot of places. So it is good for the pinball community. I would love to do a pinball tournament one day, and maybe we'll get there.
Well, that was my next question is, because I know there are teams out there. Do you guys do tournaments? So not yet, but
I've been in touch with a couple of people that they have done them in Knoxville in the past, and hopefully we'll get on the tour sometime, maybe.
All right.
Always looking for stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Chip, appreciate your time today, and we'll see you in the next episode.
All right. Thanks, Skip.
Thanks for being part of the Pins and Friends family. For more fun, check out pinsandfriends.com or visit us at 700 State Street, Bristol, Tennessee. Let the good times roll. See you next time.